What is up, guys? Boris here, and today I'm coming to you guys with a 30 stamina guide for the new Basil Hawkins Coliseum. Now this guy is pretty tough at first, but I think this team is actually really good and should be pretty easily available for you guys since it does not contain any 6-star units. I'm going to be using a Mihawk Captain along with the Mihawk Friend Captain. Again, Mihawk, one of the best units in the game. By now, I suppose that most of you guys will have him maxed due to his special being one of the best in the game. And we're going to be pairing him along with a Doflamingo. Any 10 plus skill up should be good enough. You don't have to max him out, but you do want to have a good amount on there. Also, we're going to be using Golden Pound Usopp against someone you probably have maxed by now to stall. And Fossa is going to be the key here. But before I get to Fossa, let me explain Zoro. It's going to be a very important unit here because the mini boss Sanji will lock your bottom left unit for 99 turns. So what that means is that unit is going to be pretty much useless, so you want to have a unit that has good sockets there. So what I do is I put my best socketed unit there in the bottom left, and when it comes to sockets, really silence doesn't really matter. What you want to have is chains, so at least chain level 1 like I have in this. Chain level 2 is even better but not required. So you want to have chain, maybe some cooldown and some same orbs. If you can have that in the bottom left, that'd be perfect. Make sure it's a slasher though, so you get that boost from the coffin boat and from Mihawk. And then finally, Fossa. Now, Fossa is the key to this because the boss Hawkins is a green unit, so you want a red slasher. And Fossa's special, what it does is that it will allow you to boost the attack of red units. I believe it's by 1.5 for a turn. So if you combo that with the Doflamingo, then you're going to be good to go and you'll be able to take out Basil Hawkins. Now, the important thing though is to stall because you want to make sure you hit that 17 turn for Mihawk as soon as you hit them. And in my case, my Fossa is at 20 turns, so it's not maxed, but it's still good enough to be able to use in this. And that's why I said Doflamingo doesn't have to be maxed. We're probably not using it until turn 20, somewhere around there. Now, this turtle is the main place where you can stall, and I recommend trying to farm for the green orbs so you guys can get him ready for the next room, which is going to be Sanji, who's a blue unit. So Doflamingo and your Mihawks try to get as many green orbs as you can, and that will make it a lot easier. So normally what I do is I take a hit from the turtle and I do one more cycle, and then that should be able to get me ready for the boss. So Sanji time is going to be right up, and I'm going to go ahead and save my Usopp for the very final room. You can of course use it earlier. You can use it during one of the earlier rooms and then have it ready again for Basil Hawkins. Is probably the best way to stall, but it's fine, whatever, doesn't really matter. And Sanji will attack every 2 turns, and then I think after 1 turn he will seal a unit for 2 turns, so you gotta be careful there. And then after that, I believe you'll seal a unit for 1 turn every turn. So as long as you have that those sockets in there, you should be fine. The important part, of course, is to make sure your specials are ready for the next room. Now, they don't necessarily have to be there in the first turn, but have them within 2 to 3 turns of being ready, so that you guys will not die to the boss, because the boss will hit hard. Basil Hawkins does a ton of damage. I believe he does over 13,000 just from a normal attack, so you gotta be careful there. And so, of course, like I said, use your green units, make sure to attack him. And as long as you're getting a couple green orbs here or there, you should be fine. You can actually even take a couple hits from Sanji, and you should be safe. So again, just make sure you take him out. I believe I'm going to take him out with this last attack here, then I should be good to go. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, and yes. Okay, so that's Sanji down. Again, he's pretty easy, doesn't have too much HP. And then here's the hard part. So Basil Hawkins, he'll put up this what I call the counter buff, so that after 2 turns, he'll deal damage to you based on how much you deal to him. So it's variable, and I don't know exactly how it's calculated at the moment, but I highly recommend that you do not burst him down in the first 2 turns. You go ahead and use Usopp. You can do first, second turns, doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. I just go ahead and use the second turn. And the important thing here is that you notice I'm not doing damage to him. That's because after the second turn, he will, like I said, counter back damage to you based on how much you did to him. So if I barely did any, I'll barely take any damage. And so now what I want to do is now I have a 3-turn window. I have a 3-turn window to go ahead and do as much damage, pretty much to defeat him, otherwise he'll probably kill me. And so here you go, I use Mihawk, and I'm going to try to do as much damage as I can here. If you have the burst combo, you can go ahead and use it, but since I don't have a red orb, I can't do it. And so here's the thing, so now he'll put up the counter again, and again you have 2 turns to try to not deal as much damage as possible. 2 turns to me with this should be more than enough, so I go ahead and go for the combos. I got that red orb. You could, deal a little bit here or there and still be fine. As long as you don't get hit by that 13,000 attack, that's the tough part. So here we go. We got Fossa combined with the Doflamingo 2 times orb boost and a red orb on Fossa. And you'll see here, he's going to deal a lot of damage and enough to take him out. So this pretty reliable kill here every time. You should be able to farm pretty easily with this team. Let me know down below if you have any more questions about this. Again, try to maybe have level 2 or chain sockets only at level 1, but still not that big of a problem. So with that said, guys, thanks all for watching. Until next time, peace.